Jackie.
And this is Vaughn. So basically we got a cone 04 earthenware firing, which was bisqued to cone 01 and held for 30 minutes, and now it's been glazed at 04 and held for 30 minutes with a 10-degree overfire programmed in. So that way we get a glaze that doesn't craze, and even after prolonged use. So here's the kiln, and then Jackie's going to take the pieces out that are hers.
Okay. Start with this one here. Take the stilt off. Okay, I'll try and do this nice and slow so you can see the imagery. These are on earthenware clay, and they were sprayed with a white slip prior to my painting on them with underglazes. I used to prefer yellow underpainting, and I've kind of switched over and I've gone back to having a white underpainting. I think it really improves the contrast of the underglaze painting and stenciling that goes on top. That still just came right off. And this is the flying birds flying through foliage. This is a sight that I often see around here. And my last one, whoops, did I just knock that through? My last one here on the top shelf is another whale and island motif.
Now the pieces that I have are slips only, and they are red clay, white slip applied over the whole piece, and then yellow clay over the whole piece, followed by black, and I usually put 2 coats of black, and the black is mixed 50% underglaze and 50% slip, so it gives a more intense black. And then I sgraffito carve the entire piece. And finally I paint in some white slip over the sail areas and the boat areas, which does not have any underglaze in it, but it doesn't flake off even though the piece is almost dry when I do that. So that slip recipe, which I'll put in this video, is Robin Hopper's for up to cone 4, and it works really well. These are all very similar, so I can go over them fairly quickly. This one has a lot more yellow in it, and it's got some red barns, boat houses. There's another one with a boathouse.
Take this out. So this is a smaller, slightly smaller size mug on this one. Once again, it's coated with white slip underneath, and I'm painting with underglazes over top. The birds are stenciled. That's why they have a harder edge. I like the contrast between the hard edge of stencil shapes and the more painterly things and around that surround them. This is the birds flying along the river. I think there's a little sailboat back there. two cats in the garden playing. I think the white slip underneath is giving me a much better contrast. Little cat down there grazing with the horses. Quite a few people around here have horses. And let's see, the last one here is a gray colored cat and his kitten talking with the big rooster. There we are.
I have 5 more of the Sgraffito mugs here. The same process of the other ones. The black is not quite as black as I've seen it in some firings, and I think I could have raised the actual temperature a little bit to get a deeper black, or put more underglaze in the slip. I tried some different patterns in the ocean, as you can see in my usual pieces in these, to make it a little bit more stormy looking. This is the way I normally do it, calm sailing. I like reflections onto the boats. That slip is really amazing because it is applied when the piece is almost dry and it doesn't flake off, which is quite amazing. The recipe's out of the Ceramic Spectrum book by Robin Hopper. So that is a really good recipe, but it only fires up to cone 4. This is the layer on the bottom, and it has some more mugs and a large bowl. I bang the mug down as I lift it up, so I make sure the stilt falls off. This is another one where I tried a slightly stormy sea. Not sure if people will like that or not, but I've been doing calm sailing for a while, so I wanted to introduce some drama in the piece. And the sailing ship has got full sail, must be hopping along at a fair knot.
Okay, we'll see what's left down here. This is another mug with the cat and the rooster motif. Oh. This is the cat again with the rooster. And let's see what the last one is. And this is more of a farm. The farm buildings in the background. And the last is a bowl. It's got a swirl on the inside. This is on red clay. And this is the horses and woods along the outside.
And this piece is pre-sold, so the lady ordered this piece. I think she's from California.
So yeah, this was a commission piece. Here we go. And that's that for that kiln load.
So that clear glaze recipe is in this video, and the slip recipe too. And you must remember to fire 01 bisque, which means glazing takes a while because the pieces stay wet for a long time. So whenever I do these, I make sure I'm glazing when I've got a kiln really hot, firing, and I can place them on stilts on top of the lid of that kiln, and they dry within a couple of hours. If not, they'd take all night to dry because the clay body is already vitreous. So I thicken the glaze a little bit and make sure the coat is shaken off, so it's a fairly thin coat, but the glaze isn't runny enough, so it just keeps running off, and dry them quickly. But we've found that nothing crazes. You know, we've got pieces years old that don't craze. When we used to do earthenware 06 bisque firing and then 04 glaze, things crazed. And then we tried different ways of doing it until we found a temperature of 01 with this clay body, which is Laguna's number 20. This actually makes it vitreous enough so there's no crazing with the glaze recipe. And the glaze is based on Ghostly borate, so we'll have to reformulate a little bit with Ghostly borate that's now out. Because no more Ghostly borate, but there's Gillespie borate is the substitute. So we'll have to reformulate a little bit, and I'll update on that as I find that one works. Thanks for joining us. Bye. Okay, this is Jed from Glacier Pottery in Alaska, but now Montana. And he's just appeared on the studio doorstep, and I stayed a couple of days, and he's going to try throwing on my wheel. Say hello, Jed.
Hello.
All right. Well, there you go. You want to say anything?
Nice to see everybody. Thanks for filming me, Yvonne, and come check out Glacier Pottery. It's a YouTube channel sometime, if you're so inclined.
So how long have you been in business, Bill?
Since about 1997, on and off.
Where did you go to college?
I went to school in Fairbanks, Alaska, at the University of Alaska. Graduated from high school in Fairbanks, and got into pottery there. And let's see. Then got married, and we went down to a Bible college in Kirkland, Washington, and thought I was going to be a pastor. And then went through about 3 different majors, from biblical literature to communications, where I managed the radio station for a while at the college, and then ended up being I forget what it was. I think, a music major after that. And none of that panned out. Went back to the University of Alaska in Fairbanks, started in an engineering degree program, and ended up doing a shorter program in electronics engineering technology. And of course took pottery classes the whole time I was there. And then that was education, pretty much.
So what were your instruments that were music?
3 years of piano lessons where I tried really hard and did a terrible job playing piano. I'm not a piano player.
Well, as I can testify to how hard it is to learn how to play guitar because I tried.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I did in Seattle while I was going to school, there was I walked into a woodworking store. I don't even remember why I went in there, and a guy happened to be in there that was teaching guitar building. And so I ended up going to a lutherie school for about a year and learning how to build guitars, which I tried to do when I went back to Fairbanks for a while. And I really enjoyed that work, but eventually I kept on with the pottery, and ceramics seems to have been it.
Yeah, it's very seductive. I think for me it was 17 years old, and as soon as I touched clay, that was it. So,
Really?
yeah. I gave up every other lesson in school because I was just high school at that time. So.
Did you work at any potteries when you were that young, or?
No. My background was steel and coal in the town where everybody I knew worked in either the steel factory or the coal mine.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very grateful for those teachers that got me into doing clay.
Oh yeah.
So how long does it take to drive across from Montana to Nova Scotia?
Oh, well, it's taken us almost a month, but we wish we had taken more time. You could do it. I mean, we would drive from Fairbanks to Montana in 5 days through Canada, but that is really pushing it. That's 2,400 miles in 5 days. And, well, actually about 6 days. Canada took 5 days. The little bit through Alaska to Fairbanks and through Montana down to Polson, Montana. That was another day on each end. So maybe a week all total that way, but there's so much to see. We really enjoyed the time we took this trip. Rather than trying to get somewhere, we just stopped at potteries along the way and visited with artists and saw some friends, made new friends, all sorts of stuff. So it's been loads of fun. So now we're about a month into it, and we're going to head down to Florida after this and visit our son.
Yeah, no, that's we're having a tough time in Florida at the moment. There's a big art fair scene in Florida as well. So
Oh, there is?
A lot of potters down there, I would guess. In fact, I know one straight off, Terry Emmerich, who lives in St. Augustine, Florida.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, we should stop on the way and visit.
So how are you finding the noisy wheel?
The noisy wheel is fine. It doesn't really bother me. Of course, I have a branch at home too. The squeak, that's exactly the same.
Yeah.
The rumble is the new thing.
I wonder if that's the bats on there sometimes. I'm not sure. So, but that wheel belonged to Tim Marver, originally from Bloomington, who's now teaching at Bloomington, Indiana.
Oh.
Yeah.
This clay is nice. It's real creamy. Throws really well.
Yeah, no, that's 455 speckle from Pottery Supply House.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think that was a little softer than I normally like it, but
Oh.
all right.
Feel free to toss these.